types of things. And I think one is that we gotta learn to trust each other more.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta learn to listen to each other more. This thing's never gonna change, and I think in spite of that, then we have to try harder to be more empathetic for each other. But to that point, I think it is important to, I mean, that's kind of what Doctor Strange, and I'll let you finish again, sorry. But it's kind of like what Doctor Strangelove is, where it's like, yeah, this problem's never going to change, so we might as well, I don't know, enjoy a story about it that is
Right.
somewhat uplifting.
Right.
So anyway.
Even though at the end it's like, I'm fucked.
Yeah, well, it's still all fuck.
And but I think
But it's
kind
you
of
don't
play
know.
with that the
You
whole
don't know
time.
because
we play with this back and
they're having
forth
fun.
of levity, and
it's changed.
That's why it's black. And
Oh,
white.
change.
The black
Oh,
and white.
well, that's the other thing. Is like, is it the
Levity.
fact that it's black? Yeah.
Right, levity versus tragedy or whatever. Or,
Dude, and think about how cool the
Depravity.
milk's gonna look in black and white.
Dude, I know. Levity.
You know what? That's the one thing we should make colorful in the movie. The milk.
Like Schindler's List.
Like it's
And
right.
then at the end of the movie, there's the mound of bodies.
Yeah. I haven't seen that movie, but
You've never seen Schindler's
No.
List? Oh my god.
is it black and white
Exactly.
except mounds of bodies in
Oh,
the
dude,
end?
I'm not even gonna tell you.
That's
It's
fine.
one of the best movies ever.
There's so many random movies I
fucking-
haven't seen.
I fucking love Schindler. We should
You got
watch
anything
it.
else you want to say about on your points?
So, really quick. He tells the story of Lazarus where, do you know? that's-
Get up from your. No, he's the dead guy. Yeah,
He's
he
the
raised.
dead guy that Jesus
Yeah.
resurrects.
Yeah.
And there's the non-believing Jews that are following him, and all of a sudden they believe in Christ and they believe in God. And it's sort of like an indication to Raskolnikov. It's like, you fucking, like, you wouldn't be as crazy if you had some sort of, like, direction in your life, or maybe if you had some sort of religious fucking,
Mm-hmm.
integration.
Yeah.
Like, he's thinking to himself these fucked up things, and Dostoevsky kind of writes afterwards. It's like he is, he's a young philosopher, so he's fucked up too. You know what I mean?
Fucked up.
He's always thinking of the most fucked up option. By the way,
bud.
The Idol. They do this in The Idol. Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
Big Bad
Because I'm the
Wolf.
horse. Because I am the wolf.
That's a perfect.
Yeah.
I just saw in Mad Men, Meditations in an Emergency, Frank O'Hara. It comes into Don Draper's life at a turning point in his character.
Okay.
So
Is there a story?
that's what I was kind of thinking, where it's like,
So the story could either be that this is a timeless thing, or is it quite literally a something where it's like you mistook someone for another thing, and because of that you hurt them inadvertently. But also that person might be deserving of it. Anything? Any stories that come to mind? I'm recording this, so we have that down.
yeah.
But is that kind of the thought? / maybe
Yeah.
also the women v men.
And something simple too, something that everyone's like,
Yeah. Jack
not
and Jill.
like, this is the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah,
shit,
right.
I am
Harry Potter.
Death Destroyer of Worlds.
Um,
Have you heard that
yeah.
countdown bit?
no, yes.
Oppenheimer?
Yes, I have.
Let's see. I become Death Destroyer of Worlds.
Yeah, he prepared to say that. What, what'd you say?
Death Destroyer of Worlds. I said it. What's it from? Oh, it's a fucking Hindu book. But I know it. I read it.
Yeah, what is a fucking...
But
someone hurting someone else. Luke and Leia? Star Wars.
brother and sister.
But look, I don't know. Inadvertently. I'm trying to think if there's anything from like the last two, like
what do you mean
the,
by
like the,
bringing that up? Hurting someone inadvertently?
No, I don't know.
Because
Yeah, I guess that's not relevant.
because that delegitimizes her fear.
Yeah.
The truth of it is that
Have you ever read this book?
this is a
Did she
thing.
say
This is a thing I'm doing. The fucking rape of Lucrece. No, you know about that? That's an old Italian. The
It's
rape.
probably
of
pronounced
Lucrezia.
Lucrezia.
And then Machiavelli turned that into the Mandrake. But yeah, it's based on the rape of Lucrezia.
Alright, so it should be focused on man v woman, like, men not taking a woman serious. Mulan? Mulan? I almost feel like it should be not that old. Like, I think that's there's a humor in that if she mentions something from the 2000s.
Maybe.
And she's like, if she brings it up, like, this is the dumbest way she could bring it up. And she's like, have you ever seen blah, blah, blah? And he's like, yeah. Or it's no. And then she's like, this is an allegory for this movie. And he's like, huh.
I'm literally looking at. Oh. Hold on.
Let's see.
Sorry, I'm.
Dude, it's too bad this movie doesn't pass the Bechdel test.
What do you mean?
We're close. We're close.
A woman talking about a man?
Well, or talking to a man.
To a man about
Yeah.
her experience with men?
Yeah.
She's Thomas Haywood. James. I'm trying to find 1932 Lucrece.
Are you looking up Lucrezia right now?
I legitimately am. Modern references to it that can lead me to like a more. But there's like a legitimate thing there where it's like.
Yeah.
Basically, her rape begins the start of the Roman Republic. So there's like a patriarchal element to it, but basically like, so, this is a genuine fear she has based on fucking not just experience, but
Genuine
literally
fear.
Society
Fear.
creates-
This is easier.
Society creates or allows almost
Hunger Games. Harry Potter. The Shining. TV shows. Bands, movies, music videos.
the end of Thriller.
I forget. Did she get raped at the end of Thriller by like everyone?
No, Michael Jackson walks off with her and then he turns around.
And he's like,
his eyes have slits and it goes, and then
Yeah.
It's the most famous music video of all time.
Yeah, you know.
Thriller.
I forget his name who did that, but it's the same guy who did Kentucky Fried Movie.
Did he really?
No shit.
No way.
And fucking Werewolf in London.
That's funny. Oh my
I'm
god.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that was like the proof of concept or not the proof of concept, but at least some sort of connection to it eventually. I need to think on this. Evil Dead.
I'm so stuck on
Me, Myself, and Irene.
I'm so stuck on this Lucrezia thing. The legend of Lucrezia, a woman who was sexually violated and therefore shamed her male kinsman, who then took revenge against the rapist and his family, was used not only in the Roman Republic to represent proper womanly virtue, it was used by the
It's kind of like that movie, Beau Was Afraid. He was just afraid too much. Movies about afraid people. Alright. arachnophobia. Like, this is not what I'm talking about. By the way, I got an audition for, like, a Jewish man. And they're like, you might have to do, it's some fucking, like, Christian film, I think. I think it's a Christian film. But, like, it says, like, you need to do a Jewish accent. And so in my head, I was gonna be like, here I am doing an improv. But then they have a video, and it's like we'd like it to be like this, and it's more the Jewish was like it's like they're talking Israel, like they're talking Israel Jew. It's like they're talking. Can you do it?
I ran over my dog the other day.
Wow. Okay, so you kind of have that throaty thing.
You have to swallow your R's.
You have to swallow
your R's have to be your
R's. Your R's. Your R's.
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 Almost like you're saying L, but you're even you're trying to flick the L against your palate. L.
So I was going through I was late in the lab working one night. Ugh, it's such a gross accent.
Yeah, it's a fucking gross people. And I'm related to fucking...
Oh, they're fine.
I'm 50% blood related to these fucking terrorists.
Spirited Away? She was afraid of everything in Spirited Away, and then she got...
Was she afraid of getting fucking raped?
No, but her parents turned into pigs.
That's true.
So it has to be rape. It has to be about rape.
I mean...
Movies about rape. Let's look that up. Movies about rape. Irreversible. I'm sorry. Accused. God. Room. But that's too new.
No way we're mentioning fucking Room.
Promising Young Woman. Bombshell. See, these are too new. The Last Duel.
The Promising Young Woman.
My joke?
The director is making another movie.
Remember? Do you ever hear my Promising Young Woman joke?
Yes. You were very proud of it.
I like it, and it's never gonna. No one knows it, but I think it's a clever play on words.
Inside.
A Promising Young Woman.
Get it, guys?
Get it because
Get it?
I had a pause between.
Get it, everyone?
Knock knock.
I gotta stop it.
Test pattern? What? It was like in that movie, Pearl. Mystic River. I haven't seen that. Is that about rape? Popular movies about rape is the Google title, by the way, for like this list.
Well, don't do movies.
No, I know.
Do
I was just curious about 2000 stuff. What, you think books only? Stories? Famous?
Tess of the Ubervilles, Thomas Hardy.
Stories about, not rape, fear.
Novels that tackle...
Top 10 fear. Moby Dick.
Well...
Lord of the Rings. Antigone. I was thinking, like, obviously, there's some of those Greek lady plays where, like, the women are being, like, but that's a little too heavy. Like, that's not really, like, they're dealing with, like, they're Spartans or whatever forcing themselves on them. Like, that's different than living in a society that you might, because, listen.
Do you think that is different?
I think it's different. I think it's so much scarier. I think it's so much scarier you not being sure knowing it's gonna happen than being like it happening consistently. Well, these Antigone women or whatever they were, like whatever the play is, like they knew like, oh fuck, we're like about like.
I think the whole thing is the whole fact that it's occurring is indicative of a societal issue. Considering
So you think like one of those great plays is relevant? I guess so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I keep bringing up the Lucrezia one. That's a Roman one, but it's
James Bond.
What way are we in?
I don't know. I'm just looking. I'm just reading things from here.
This is.
As You Like It. Is there any Shakespeare where someone's getting?
You want to know?
Which one?
You're gonna go nuts when I say it again.
Which one?
He wrote a poem about.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
Taming of the Shrew.
Oh, I haven't read that one.
Also, I don't know Taming of the Shrew super well, but basically, if I can read, a mischievous nobleman drinks a drunken tinker named Christopher Science, believing he is actually a nobleman himself. The nobleman then has the place of traumatized version. The main plot depicts the courtship of Petruchio and Katharina, the headstrong, obdurate shrew. Initially, Katharina is an unwilling participant in the relationship. However, Petruchio tames her with various psychological and physical torments, such as keeping her from eating and drinking, until she becomes a desirable, compliant, and obedient bride.
Nice.
The subplot features a competition between the suitors of Katharina's younger sister, Bianca, who's seen as the ideal woman in the play. The question of whether the play is misogynistic has become the subject of considerable controversy. Taming of the Shrew has been adapted numerous times for stage, screen, opera, ballet, and musical. There's Cole Porter's Kiss Me Kate. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Wait, Kiss Me Kate from Holes?
Kiss Me Kate is a Cole Porter musical.
That's a musical, that's right.
10 Things I Hate About You.
But wait, what was it? Wasn't that called Kissin' Kate?
Kiss Me Kate.
What was the character's name in, do you remember that character?
In what?
Kissin' in Holes. Remember the woman who would put lipstick on and she was killing people? She would shoot him and then kiss him. Anyway.
Kissin' Kate.
Classic stories about women. Oh, why did I write a story of it with the women being the protagonist? Mary Wollstonecraft. The Vindication on the Rights of Women.
Say her last name.
Wollstonecraft. Wollstonecraft.
10 Things I Hate About You is an American teen romantic comedy film starring Julia Stiles, Heath Ledger. It's a modernization of William Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew.
Wait, what movie is this?
10 Things I Hate About
No
You.
fucking way. It's a Shrew movie. Wow. And so he's literally giving her 10 things where it's like, this is all wrong. Like, that's gonna be the premise,
And
probably.
That's to like.
Wow. To tame her.
Crazy, right?
Wow.
It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to base any shit off of all this, like, I mean, Little Woman, Pride, Prejudice, Jane Eyre, all this boring shit. Is it good? Is that stuff good?
None of that necessarily has to do with.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just saying. I'm not sure like what it's about, and I have no interest reading them.
Wait, which one?
No, just like all those old women books, like Emma, Pride and Prejudice, all that crap.
Well, Pride and Prejudice. That's like it's about like society women though. That's like her parents are pressuring her to marry. Like those are all about like young society women trying to like figure out like what their independence is in a situation where they're forced to be married almost.
Yeah.
But you know they end up liking the guy.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of conflict, but this one is conflict oriented.
This is conflict oriented.
And there is, I mean, she does it out of fear of.
Remember when
it's words? There, you know, you don't do that unless you think a crime is about to be committed. Be it because it's a 6 foot. You're a 6 foot tall guy and it's dark. We're not saying it outright, but a fucking sex crime.
Hey, what about this? What about this?
I mean? Like
what about Monsters in the Dark? What about like it's like?
Go on.
It's like.
I won't laugh.
No, yeah. Well, this is just like the first thing that came to mind, where it's more like, it's like where it's just like she's talking to him, and it's like I don't know. This is again the stupid way to get to it. Hey, remember when like you were a kid and like you like used to think all that shit's under your bed, all your phone, like. We think there are monsters in the dark for us. I don't know. But you know what I mean. it's stupid, but like that's what I'm kind of
you know
like.
How you're telling me not to go too obvious.
Yeah,
that's like.
Yeah, of course. Well, like I'm wondering, like
I'm trying not to go too obvious with this reference thing, and maybe, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if
maybe it's too deep anyway, but it should be some quick remark of this shit's been happening forever, and she just maybe drops.
we can't use Eve. Eve's too easy. It's what mentioned. We definitely can't use Eve. Eve's
What's
used
Eve?
like Eve, Adam and Eve, where it's like
no,
she can't make some sort of like Eve had to deal with it. Blah, blah, blah. Like
No,
that's too. It's way too. Like it's like not even like someone like like not Amelia.
Oh my god.
You're like Amelia Earhart actually got raped.
Got raped.
Well, that's why she cried. How about? I'm so tired. But anyway, I do think that's the point to add something. I think you're right on the money with that.
Yeah, there's just a little something there, and he doesn't. He's because he's not picked up on the grand.
Yeah, it's got to be one more.
It's got to be.
But it can't.
More.
Yeah, I mean, I think what wants is she's not gonna get. It's not. It's too much. Sorry. That's what the woman wants. We got to create something for both sides. That's what the point of the story is.
It's not. It's not even that. It's also like there needs to be some ambiguity.
You're right.
And Logan, God bless.
Hmm?
This is the actor's problem.
Yeah, sure.
And that's I have to quell it within myself too. Is whenever Hamlet always tells you how he feels.
Right? Yeah.
And at least in cinema, less so than in theater, you don't have to know every fucking thing you're thinking.
Right.
You can make indications, which is why
we're able to do that with so much more. We have so many other
Right.
tools at our disposal.
But I think, given the subject matter and hopefully to just put like a final nail in the coffin of like because I'll say this too, we kind of ended off too, and while I love the ending, just to play devil's advocate, it's also like fuck,
like it's him. Sure.
So I think a final pointer of her intellect too, that she can get out of something. Like, let's say worst case scenario, if you leave the theater and it's like, does she end up dating him? Like, at least there's some pointer that you can look to where you're like, she's smart enough.
Yeah.
And I know.
Yeah.
I know a fucking literary reference doesn't mean you're a fucking genius, but it's also like a little.
Yeah, who's a woman that goes through some? Who's a woman that goes through some shit and is okay at the end? What are some shit? You know what I mean?
No woman in Russian literature. That's for sure, dude. Holy fuck.
Woman goes through some shit. Joan of Arc.
Anna Karenina
she's
throws
dead.
herself onto trees.
I know. I was coming up, but like that's so stupid. Like she's not gonna mention Anna Karenina.
She might.
No.
Well, it's like
I haven't read Anna Karenina. You haven't read Anna Karenina.
I'm gonna read Anna Karenina.
Yeah, no one else wants to read Anna Karenina except your wife. Okay, except your future wife.
Oh, dude.
That's a comment to you that you're gonna find a woman who, you know what I mean?
I will.
Yeah, like who gets
Very
you
nice,
or whatever.
thank you.
But
I don't know if I will, but Anna Karenina married socialite, and her affair.
I think it's got to be like a '90s movie or like a 2000s thing or like a book series that was huge for girls. Twilight.
Well, dude, Twilight is literally a guy stalking. I wanna say like. Specifically, I want. bringing that up is such a fucking clean. No, I won't even. The fact that it even popped into my head disgusts me. I was gonna say Romeo and Juliet, but that's so.
Yeah.
That's an Adam and Eve type cop out.
Well, it's just not even the right one.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say like, oh, he's like, cause he, at the beginning of Romeo and Juliet, he breaks up with a chick.
Yeah.
And then he's at the party and he sees her, and instantly he's like, following her around.
I think it's gotta be, okay. Mean Girls, Clueless. Mean Girls? No. Clueless? I haven't seen Clueless. But you know what I mean? I think it's gotta be something from the 90s or 2000s. Especially if we put this in a nebulous time period where it might be the 2000s. I think
if it's in a nebulous time period, something classic.
Well, then something classic, but modern classic then.
It's hard with the 90s.
Well, what is she like? What is she like? What would she have come across? What media has she come across?
It's
you know, not media, but you know what I mean.
What media?
Like, what has she come across that has stuck with her?
What's classic, and not just what media and what's classic, but what has to do directly with the situation.
And I think we're not gonna figure this out tonight, but I think
we're not gonna figure this out tonight. But absolutely not. However,
there might be a song.
Right. But again, it can't be too contemporary as to not lock us in a certain place. It can't be too old as not to have everyone going,
what the fuck is this reference?
Since when is she a fucking
yeah,
scholar?
well that's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah.
But something
it's kinda like Mein Kampf. Like
I'm having a mind conf with this idea. I'm having a conf with this idea.
I'm confing.
I'm confing right now. I'm confing. That's such an easy...
Well, no one said it. I've never heard a conf.
What?
I've never heard that joke.
You think Hitler was in bed with Ava Braun? I'm confing. Am I performing on the Backyard show?
I think so.
Am I?
Oh my god, I gotta do that.
I don't even know what I'm gonna say. I'm not even gonna do comedy. I'm gonna talk about...
Do comedy?
I'm just gonna talk...
Comedy's gotten worse. He used to be so much funnier when, like...
What does he do,
I don't know.
Average, kind of like...
He's just kind of not doing his characters or anything. He's not yelling, he's not doing, like, anything, really.
My pronouns are HEB.
Has he done that joke?
I don't know.
Who is that joke?
He's been posting a lot of stuff on Twitter that's like, I'll read you some of Val Berry's tweets.
Oh, God.
I hope it doesn't come off like I'm talking shit.
Okay. Oh, I gotta figure. Oh my god.
Oh,
okay.
Here he is.
Somehow.
Comedian trying to get canceled.
I hate it. Shut the fuck up.
The only thing capable of stopping a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, or a very promiscuous woman. Woman gives armed robber blowjob to distract him until the police arrive.
It's ridiculous. That's not bad. I mean, like, that's stupid. I don't know. It's Twitter. Dude, what the fuck? No one's gonna call it X. Are people calling it X, you think?
Morning wood is the biological reminder that you are a man. Oliver Anthony wrote a beautiful song. It's relatable to people from all types of politics and backgrounds. It represents what anyone against the New World agenda should feel. And mainstream media are already associating it with far-right politics. How is glorifying freedom and community and singing about a corrupt government that clearly acts against its own people far-right? If anything, it's rebellious as the message is anti-establishment. If you aren't a wealthy politician, then you aren't in the club, and you should feel upset. They seem to favor morally bankrupt artists who glorify obesity and sing songs which encourage violence, abusing women and sucking as many dicks as possible. Thanks.
What is... I just
He
don't...
can't possibly be thinking that, like...
For real?
For real.
No. No, I don't know. I mean, he's not... But here's the thing. We don't know any of these fucking people. You know? Like, think about... I mean, think about...
Yeah,
you might know pretty well. But like,
Well,
I'm just saying from
get
our
where he's coming
perspective,
from
we don't
because
we don't know these people like we all know each other, you know, because they never bear themselves really to us.
Well, any attempt to bear yourself in a legitimate way in the comedy community, or
Yeah.
at least the Austin comedy community, is like it's almost like weak.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I bet you like Tim Warner. Tim Warner is so fucking honest, almost to a fault. I think that's why like people don't want him around is
Yeah.
because he's honest. But that's why he is
Good.
good.
And,
why-
and likable. I mean, nice enough, you know? It was really, I give him fucking chops for that day we were hanging out after he got cut. And, like, of course it was, like, one of those things where it's like, what the fuck is gonna happen next? And, like, because none of us want to say, like, hey, man, sorry, or whatever. Like, we'd want to talk about literally anything else. But also
Yeah.
the attempt to talk about literally anything else is also kind of, like false. Almost, you know, it's kind of insincere. But he did a
Right.
great job of just being like, hey, man, guys, thanks for coming out. And, like, just, like,
Also-
we're like, yeah, we love it, whatever. I don't know.
It was
You, me.
well, who won? It was.
Oh, sorry.
It was
it
one
was-
of them Evan Lopez?
Yeah, he was on.
Okay.
I
That
realized.
dude, he was on.
So-
He was on. He has his own podcast. I see like clips come up on my Instagram reel when I don't follow fucking shit. It's just like given to me because I follow people in Austin. Dude, I mean, that's my pronouns are. That's where I got my pronouns
said that?
are from HEB. That was his opening bit, and
Yeah.
everyone laughed. You know, and
It's so
it's just
stupid.
boring.
So, yeah,
It's
my
just-
pronouns Shaws.
And
Is that funny?
dude, I listen to half these podcasts and Austin. I'm just bored.
Yeah.
I'm just bored.
Yeah.
It's who's it for? It's getting 150 likes at
I know, so, like, what's the point? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing it for 150 likes, so if I'm not doing it, I should do it for a different audience. I should do
No
it
one-
differently.
and no one's listening to it.
Right.
Let's be,
No one's really
let's-
here.
Let's be frank. No one is
Yeah.
listening to it because, frankly, there is so much content to consume. Just
Yeah.
you know, you have your favorite guys, and that's about it. For some, it's Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. For some, it's Tom Segura. For some, it's Rogan and only Rogan. Shit, I've leveled up. I like what the kids. I like fucking Kai Cenat.
Yeah.
You see, I'm a fucking baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But and I watch like Aiden Ross sometimes and shit. You know what I mean? Just like these people, but there's more growing in that space too, because you could also watch Hassan, and you can also. There's just so
Yeah.
much of this fucking content, and it's all to feed this beast of the internet, and everyone has their own niche,
Yeah.
likes and and there's no kind of common, you know. I mean, the streamers are about the most common for like the current youth, but you know, who's going out of their way to say, you know, who I'd like to hear today? I'd like to hear talk about. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not in the cards. It's not in the books.
What if we went live and then, we actually did it live?
What do you mean?
We did it.
The podcast?
Yeah, we did it as like an hour and a half live show.
An hour and a half.
Well, but no, but it's also saved
Once
as
a
like,
week.
well, yeah, it's once a week, and it's literally a thing. Like, if you want to tune in, you can, or you can just watch the podcast. But it's kind of also, it's more like a live show, like Chris Gethard show.
Can I
kind
tell
of.
you
Yeah, but
the
it's
secret to Twitch?
it's not really, it's not about live streaming. It's more about
I
like
know.
if you could ever like.
I know
I
it's
mean-
not about live streaming, but this is predicated.
It's just where
on-
we live.
This is how we're gonna get views.
Ugh,
Do you want to know how to get like traction views? You
views.
need to be doing literally something. You need to commit your life to it. You need to be doing
No thanks.